What's up, guys? My name is Ty Zen. Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel. And in this channel, we like to share with you guys the mistakes and the experiences that we've had in making life-changing money in the cryptocurrency market, you know, from a trading, investing, and entrepreneurship perspective, okay? So, in this video, guys, I want to share with you guys about this phone call that I just had with my older brother, okay? In case you guys don't know, okay, I came from Vietnam as a Vietnamese refugee, came to America as a very poor immigrant family, and we came from a very small fishing village. And when my family came here to America, they did not know American culture, they did not know how to speak English, they didn't know anything, and they were very embarrassed and ashamed to ask anyone for help, okay? And to save money, my dad decided to get a small property in a very ghetto-ass neighborhood, in a very poor and ghetto neighborhood in southeast Texas, in a small city called Port Arthur, okay, Texas. And in that city of Port Arthur, my dad did not understand the culture in America. He did not know the difference between a poor neighborhood and a rich neighborhood. So we ended up living in a very, very poor, ghetto, black neighborhood. We were the only non-black family in there that I know of. All the black people that lived there thought we were either stupid, crazy, or just plain batshit crazy to live in a black neighborhood, and we were the only ones that were not black, okay? So I hung around the wrong people, started selling drugs, got arrested, and ended up in federal prison for nearly 14 years. I got out in my mid-30s, started to rebuild my life, you know, from nothing, and learned how to trade stocks, futures, forex, and acquired trading skills. And then the cryptocurrency market came along, and I was able to take advantage of my trading skills in the cryptocurrency market. And me and my team, we were able to retire early by the time we were in our mid-40s. So that took about 11, 12 years to go. Okay, many people see that as a fast track to early retirement, and that I was lucky that I was able to retire early. And what people don't realize is that the nearly 14 years that I spent in prison, I was spending that time rewiring and reprogramming my brain for wealth and for success. After reading a book called Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins, that, you know, that's when I learned that your belief systems determine the outcome of your life. Right? If you have negative beliefs about money, about wealth, about women, about power, about business, about influence, then you're going to have a very negative life and live a very broke-ass life. But if you have a positive mindset about these subject matters, then you can end up becoming very wealthy. And I made the choice at that time. I realized that no matter how poor I was or how much time I was going to have to spend in prison, I was going to make the choice to have a positive mindset so that I can come out and rebuild my life again, okay? So today, I got a call from my older brother who got arrested the same time I did, and he has a 37-year prison sentence for drugs also, okay? And he has already been in prison for nearly 30 years already. So we both went in there as teenagers, and by the time he gets out of prison, if he does all his sentence, he'll be 57 years old, okay? And I have done my best over the years. After I got out of prison, I've been out of prison for about 12 years now, 12, 13 years. And every year I have sent him $2,000, $3,000, $2,000, $3,000. And in the years that I did well for myself, I would send him like $4,000 or $5,000. And the reason why I did that was because I had a heart attack after I got out of prison. And I knew that someday the laws in America, the drug laws, would change, and my brother would have an opportunity to come out of prison early, and he will not have to do his 37 years, okay? And fortunately, thanks to our great president, Donald Trump, he passed a law, a justice reform bill that made it possible so that the courts have to change the drug sentences. So the reason why my brother and I got such long prison sentences was because we were indicted for one drug, and then when it was time, we went to trial, we lost the trial, and then we went to get sentenced, they sentenced us to a different drug, okay? And so they've been doing that for many years during the drug war days. just to give prisoners, the drug offenders, a big sentence so that the prosecutor and the police department and everybody looks good, okay? So you can get caught with very little drugs and they'll give you a bunch of time just to make you look like a bad guy. And at that time, we were a bunch of teenagers and we were a bunch of low-level, first-time, I was a low-level, first-time drug offender, non-violent. And what happened was they sentenced me. I got caught with one drug, cocaine, and they sentenced me and my brother to crack cocaine. And in America, if you get busted with crack cocaine, right, they sentence you 100 times more penalty, okay? They did that so that they can punish all the black people, okay? They purposely want to keep all the black people in prison for the rest of their lives and not let them back out in the streets. And so because we went to trial, most people do not go to trial in a federal criminal case in America because the feds convict you, everybody, okay? They say that they have a 98% conviction rate. I do not believe that. I believe they actually have like close to 100% conviction rate because they will convict you no matter what you do. No matter if you're guilty, innocent, they will convict you, okay? If they can't convict you for that crime, they'll indict you on another one and then convict you on that one, okay? So I've seen this happen throughout my nearly 14 years in prison, okay? And so obviously this is illegal. In America, you cannot indict somebody for drug A and then sentence them to drug B when they're found guilty, okay? You cannot do that, that's illegal. And so this justice reform bill that President Trump recently passed, right, like a month ago, it made it illegal. It made it so the courts have to go back now and the prosecutors have to go back and resentence everyone to the crime that they were actually charged with. So if you got charged with this crime, you have to be sentenced to this crime, not this crime over here that you were not charged for and you were not found guilty for, okay? So that's what happened. The crime that my brother and I committed was supposed to get probation. That means we weren't even supposed to go to prison, okay? But because of that, because of the bullshit drug laws in America at that time, they just sentenced anybody to whatever they want. So now President Donald Trump's bill is going to correct that for the first time in criminal justice history in America. So that means that the crime that my brother got sentenced to, now because of President Trump's law, right, he's going to get immediate release, okay? Now I'm sharing this with you guys for a reason, okay? I'm sharing this with you guys because I sent my brother almost 38,000 US dollars in the last 12, 13 years since I've been out. Most of that came from me working 2 jobs. That's not from crypto, guys. Most of that came from me working 2 jobs, busting my ass, working 2 jobs and sometimes 3 jobs, okay? Because I was so afraid that if they changed the laws like they just did with what Trump just did, President Trump just did, that my brother would not have the money to hire an attorney to get him out of prison. To do, because even though the laws have changed and it's the sentence that my brother has is illegal and they have to re-sentence him, they don't just automatically do it. You have to hire an attorney, you have to submit a motion, a paperwork, documents to the court, and then ask the court to review your case and re-sentence you according to the new law that President Trump just passed, okay? So it's not like it's automatic, okay? So I was afraid that when the time comes and they change the laws, and the reason why I knew the laws were going to change, it was only a matter of time because so many families were complaining about it. The NAACP and all these different, civil rights groups in America were lobbying, and there were even congressmen that even said, yeah, we made a mistake. We know the drug law was a joke, and everybody was trying to, get votes, so we passed all these stupid drug laws, and we locked up a lot of, people and for lengthy sentences that we should not have, especially the non-violent drug offenders. We should not have locked them up for 20, 30, 40, 50 for life sentences, okay? So they all agreed on this. It was just a matter of who had the balls to make the new law, okay? Who had the balls to push the new law through? And thanks to, Trump and his fucking huge, gigantic fucking bowling ball sized balls, he was able to push the laws through to help all the prisoners who were illegally sentenced during the drug war, okay? That's why, if I can come over there and fucking just shake the balls of Donald Trump, I would, man, because the motherfucker got balls, okay? And I respect men who have balls to go do what's right for the people around them and for their country, okay? So because of that, my brother now has immediate release, but he can't come out of prison because he has to file paperwork. He has to get attorneys to submit paperwork to the courts to file it so that he can get immediate release, okay? There's already people around him getting immediate release already because of these new laws, because they have attorneys lined up and they were able to do it. Now, I sent the $38,000 to my brother, and I told him, okay, you know, spend some of it on, you know, on cigarettes, on commissary, on ramen noodles, whatever you got to do to, you know, make your life in prison easier. But make sure that you save aside some of it, 10%, 20%. Put it aside so that you have a legal fund, so that when the laws change in America, you have enough money to go hire an attorney and file the paperwork to the courts to get immediate release. Okay? And he said, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And every time I send him money, I ask him, did you save any of the money I sent you last time? The answer was always no, 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 no. Okay? So this morning I got a phone call from him, and this is like the third phone call that he's called me and asked me to send him some more money. Now you guys know, obviously I have the money from trading and investing in crypto. I have the money to send him so that he can file the paper with the courts so he can get immediate release. Okay? He's been in prison almost 30 years, right? And he has 7 more years. So if I send him the money right now, file the paperwork, and then he can get out within the next like 2 or 3 months after being in prison for nearly 30 years. Now, keep in mind this, I'm in no rush to send him the money, even though I have it. I have no rush to absolutely send him the money. And I want you guys to learn from this incident with me and my older brother, okay? I want you guys to learn from this incident, okay? I had 3 heart attacks, and I was so scared that my brother would not have an opportunity to come out. I knew that inside my family, everybody had a negative, poverty, ghetto, broke-ass mindset. There was no way that anybody in my family, in my immediate family or my second line in family, anybody in my family whatsoever in Vietnam or in America would ever have the financial resources to help my brother get an attorney, file the legal documents necessary to get him an immediate release whenever the laws change, like it just did. Okay? And so that's why I sent nearly $38,000. Now, I want you guys to think about this. You may or may not know the value of having $38,000 sent to you over 12 years. Okay? That would be the equivalent, every dollar in a U.S. federal prison is the equivalent of having $100 on the streets. So if I sent him $38,000, that would be the equivalent of me sending you $380,000 in the last 12 years. Right? And if you're stupid enough to spend all that $380,000 and not get you a car, not get you a house, not get you a nice place to live, right? It's your fucking fault. Okay? I told my brother that I cannot help his stupid ass, poverty set, ghetto ass mindset. Okay? I told him, I said, you got a fucking ghetto ass poverty mindset. I've been sending you this money, I've been sending you books, you know, positive personal self-development, business books, all kinds of shit to help you with your mindset, and you've never taken the time to better yourself, and now the time has come. The time has come and the opportunity is there, but you cannot take care of it. You cannot take advantage of it because you were not prepared. Okay? So I'm making this video, guys, with you guys to share with you guys that in life, we might be struggling all this time, but everyone has opportunities, guys. We get multiple opportunities in our life to go to the next level, to take ourselves to the next level. In my case, it was going from being a broke-ass, poor-ass Vietnamese refugee, you know, to becoming a wealthy millionaire, okay? For my brother, it was going from an imprisoned, you know, being a prisoner of the drug war into having freedom finally and getting out on the streets. But you know what? He was never prepared. He never prepared himself. He never prepared himself financially. He never prepared himself mentally. That means that what that tells me is that he never saw himself being free. He never saw himself. In here, he could never see himself being back on the streets. He was just like all the other prisoners who gave up on life. How do I know that? I know that, and I can say that, and a lot of people might say, hey, Ty, you know, you're being cruel to your brother, man. Like, that's fucked up, man. You can help your brother get immediate release, and you're not fucking doing it, okay? That's fucked up, you know? It's not fucked up because I've been helping him for the last 12 years to get prepared for this day. You guys I gotta understand that. I have been working my ass off, giving him money, sending him money that I made from working 2-3 jobs. It's not money from crypto, guys. That was hard-earned money from sweat and tears. I'm not saying that the money that I made in crypto was easy. I went through a lot of anguish and stress to figure it out and learn it, and lost thousands and millions of dollars to figure it out. Okay, so I'm not saying that was easy, but the money that I sent my older brother in prison was from working 2-3 jobs out on the streets and sending him the little extra I had. You know, there was times when I would just rather live poor and have extra money and send it to my brother, hoping that one day that he will have that money ready so that when the laws change, he can get immediate release, okay? And this shows you guys something. I want this to be a valuable lesson to you guys, that if you don't have the wealth, if you don't start working on creating that wealth mindset, when Bitcoin and the crypto market gives you, in the next bull market, when it gives you an opportunity, you will not take it. You got to ask yourself, like, why were you not taking advantage? Why were you not taking profits into 2017? If you got in early and you made that money, why didn't you do it? The reason is, more than likely, you were not prepared up here. You did not see yourself being wealthy. You did not see yourself being a millionaire. You did not see yourself being retired. And what this video is I want you guys to learn from this video and from the incident with me and my brother, right? That you got to be prepared. You got to start picturing in your mind. You got to start visualizing and seeing the early retirement. You got to see yourself not having to go sit stuck in traffic, in LA traffic, in New York traffic, in Atlanta traffic. Oh my God, I can't even imagine Atlanta traffic. That gives me the shivers when I think about the Atlanta traffic. Up to 405, right? The Highway 405, that gives me nightmares thinking about that shit. You know, being stuck in traffic for an hour every morning, going to work, being an hour, stuck in traffic an hour every day, coming back from work, you know? It's like, there's 2 hours of your fucking life, right? You gotta be able to picture not having to deal with that dumb shit. You have to picture not having to deal with the dumbass bosses and the dumbass coworkers, and picture yourself having the freedom from that right here. So that when the market gives you an opportunity, you pounce on it, you jump on it, and you take advantage of that opportunity immediately, and you don't let it go by, like my brother did. Okay, when the opportunity for freedom to come by, and it just passed him by. It just passed him right the fuck by, and now he's sitting in prison, okay? Now, I want to end this video, guys. I know it sounds cruel. I know it sounds cruel that I have the financial resources to help my brother get out of prison immediately, and that I'm sitting here goofing off, making stupid ass YouTube videos instead of helping my brother get out of prison, especially when he's been in there almost 30 years of his life, okay? I know that's what you guys are thinking. I know that's what you guys are thinking, like, man, you're a cruel son of a bitch, Ty. You won't even help your fucking blood brother out, right? I know that's what you guys are thinking, okay? But here's the reality, guys. I want my brother to feel the fucking pain of not being prepared, especially when he has he's fucking lucky as shit that he has an ambitious, motivated, unlazy little brother that got out here, busted his ass, was stressed out financially to make money, went through 3 fucking heart attacks and still survived, and still sent him money to be prepared to get out, okay? I want him to feel that pain, because he has to learn from this. He has to learn so that when he comes out here, he can actually do better for himself. Otherwise, he's gonna go back and do some stupid shit again, go back into prison again, okay? And also, guys, not only do I want him to feel the pain, but you guys don't know this, but even if I send him the money right now, it's not gonna change anything. The way that the US criminal system works is that there are a bunch of fucking dumbasses in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, in the Department of Justice, and in the criminal court systems in America. There are a lot of people that are resisting what Donald Trump is doing, right? They want to resist what he's doing. So he wants to reform the justice system in America and make it so it's fair. Not so that he can release criminals out into the street, but make it a fair system. America can only be great if it is fair. It is a law-abiding country. If it does not abide by the laws that it creates, it will not be a great country, okay? So what Trump did was that he forced the American justice system to follow the laws that were set out by Congress. Congress makes the laws in America. Not the president, not the Department of Justice, not the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Those cocksuckers don't make the law. Congress makes the laws. The legislators, the people that were voted into office make the law in America. And it's the president, and it's the Department of Justice, and it's the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Their responsibility is to carry out that law, okay? Not make the law. The law-making properties are made by Congress, not by all the other departments and all by the other justices, okay? So I've been in the federal prison system long enough and been in the Department of Justice system long enough to know that when a new earth-shattering law like this comes out by President Trump, right, and Congress, it's not going to be implemented immediately. It's not going to be implemented immediately, okay? They are going to do everything they can to try to prevent people like my brother from getting immediate release, okay? So what happens is when new laws like this come out that allows for a large number of prisoners to get released, right? What happens is, the way that it works in America, all right, is that if they release everybody like my brother immediately, which they should, okay, because they violated the U.S. laws by illegally sentencing me and my brother to a crime that we did not commit, okay? We're not innocent, but we were sentenced to something we didn't do, okay? What happens is, it has to be flushed out of the system, and that takes about 3 to 6 months. That takes about 3 to 6 months on the quick side, on the fast side, and about a year on the slow side, okay? That's the reason why I'm not sending my brother the money immediately, so that he can get out, so he can file the paperwork to get out, okay? Because we have to let the early movers who have money go in there, fight it in court to apply it. Because the first thing they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, this is not retroactive. This doesn't apply to prisoners that got put in prison back in 1993. That's when me and my brother got put in prison, right? It's not going to apply to them. It has to be, it has to be flushed out of the system. And so there are people that profit tremendously from people like my brother and myself being in prison. They profit tremendously. You guys, I don't want to go into because you guys just think it's conspiracy theory because you guys have never been in prison, so you guys would not even understand how they make money off of prisoners, no matter how much I try to explain it to you guys, okay? So I'm not going to even waste time doing that. But there are people in there that make a shitload of money from keeping people like my brother in prison. So because of that, they're going to fight tooth and nail not to release these thousands of prisoners like my brother, okay, who were illegally sentenced, okay? So because of that, that takes about 3 to 6 months to work itself out. There are going to be people in the Department of Justice who's on the side of President Trump who are going to say, screw you, this is the law that the Congress put out, you have to do it, whether you like it or not. And then there's going to be people that's going to be on Hillary Clinton's side, on the Democratic Party, who are just going to oppose everything that Trump does. So even if it's the law that Congress put out, they are still not going to do it. They're still not going to do it. So that takes about 3 to 6 months to work itself through, okay? So I don't want you guys to think that I'm being an asshole to my brother and I'm being a piece of shit and I won't help my brother get out of prison immediately, okay? It's not because of that. It's because I already know. And my brother knows that shit too. He knows that. He knows he needs to wait, bite his fucking, tongue and just fucking endure the pain another few months, right? Before it gets flushed out of the system and before it gets worked out, and then he can file the paperwork and then they'll release him, okay? So I hope that this video, guys, that I share with you guys helps you guys understand how to be prepared for the opportunities that come in the crypto market, okay? If you guys like it, give me a thumbs up. And if you guys want to serious about learning how to trade and invest in the cryptocurrency market and be able to have a potential to retire early like I did, go check out and get a copy of the cryptocurrency investing blueprint that we created. It's at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. In that blueprint, I put down everything that I've learned about how to be financially successful in cryptocurrency trading.